Hey everyone, this is Jess, the Traveling Mystic, and I wanted to share my experience with you about being in a temazcal. So, a temazcal is a sweat lodge, and it's been used for, let's just say, thousands of years, a long time, right? By different tribes and people, cultures all around the world. And I had an opportunity to experience that. It was a San Pedro ceremony in Chayubamba, Ecuador, with a shaman from Chile, and he is a third generation healer. And so I had an opportunity to go, and he was incorporating San Pedro in multiple stages of the ceremony, which was really, really cool. So I'm going to talk about the Temazcal. And within the Temazcal, there were several insights I got. So there will be a few videos about this. So I have had a hard time breathing in the past in saunas. I would last maybe 5 minutes, and then it's like, I can't breathe, I need to get out. And I had so I'm doing the San Pedro ceremony. We had taken the drink, several hours had gone by, and there was this wooden half dome structure that had just like these branches or kind of thing. They were just making the structure of it, and then people were putting blankets on top of it, and then tarps, and we had been told to bring bathing suits. And so we got into our swimsuits, and then we went inside this temazcal. So it looked like an igloo almost, but with blankets and everything. And there was 12, 13 of us in there, and we were really scrunched in. And there was the opening, the door. And there was this brick layout for these coals to be scraped in, and there was a hole dug in the dirt in the ground. And so the shaman's son, the bonfire that we had been burnt down into these dinosaur egg coals. Like, it's just, I'm sure we would have, if we had touched them, we would have been severely, severely burned. They were so hot. And so he pulled them in, and they picked them up and put them inside this pit. And so throughout the ceremony, I was like, I got this ceremony, it's all good. And then I got into the temazcal, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. This is my biggest fear that I'm facing, is not being able to breathe. And this isn't a 5-minute sauna. This is several hours inside a sweat lodge with a bunch of Ecuadorians. And I'm the only gringa, the only American, the only English speaking person in there, and the newbie that hasn't experienced this before. And so they're lobbing on the coals, and it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and I'm just like, oh fuck, like, what am I doing in here? And again, like, really feeling like I'm facing my biggest fear. And then the shaman took some San Pedro herbs, or it was ground up San Pedro dust, and he threw it onto the coals, and they lit up like the universe. And then they poured water on, and the steam kicked in, and it was game on. It was game on. And he's saying, "Spira profundos," breathe deeply, breathe in the medicine. And it's so hot in there. It's so unbearably hot, and I'm laying on the ground, on the grass, as close as I can get to something cool, and he's telling everyone to sit up, breathe in the medicine. It's so important. And the thing about sweat lodges is, I didn't really get this until afterwards, that there's this experience of death on some level. Going into a sweat lodge, it's one of the intentions of going in there is to experience death and then rebirth. And so I'm in there, and I'm battling through all these things in my head, and thinking about how, maybe it's just my time to go, maybe just, kind of like, maybe a meteor will come and hit us. Maybe an earthquake will happen, maybe like crazy things. And I very much kind of like left that up to the universe, that, and not taking responsibility for my life in a way that it's like, oh, whatever happens, and letting go of control. And what I got in there was like, no, you choose when you die. You choose when you die. And you choose when you live. And so in there, I got, talk about a will to live I suddenly was like, I'm going to fucking live. I'm going to fucking live. I am going to fucking live in this. I am going to live. And I chose to live. And that I wasn't going to be passive, and I wasn't going to just let things happen to me, and I wasn't going to, just, be laissez-faire. Like, I was going to choose to live. And then in my head, it's like, well, what is worth living for, Jess? Why do you need to live so bad? You're so insignificant. What could possibly matter? What is worth living for in your life? And I really got that like, who am I? Who am I to say like that I choose to live? Like, what is it that I'm living for that's so important? And I just decided I want to be the brightest spark that the universe has ever seen. Even if it's just that, if my life is that insignificant, that spark is that bright. And that I'm going to live, and I'm going to fully express myself, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to be vulnerable, and I'm going to be genuine and authentic, and I'm going to be seen and put myself out there, and I'm going to choose to live. And so there was this point where it just got so hot, and I dove out of the Temazcal, and I'm like laying on the ground, and I was like, I did it. I made it. I'm alive. Like, oh my gosh, I did it. And then the shaman's son came over and tossed water on me and told me to get back inside the Temazcal. And we were coming into like the final finale, the last thing, final round. And they kept bringing in more coals and more coals. And this time I'm like, bring it. Bring it on. I can do this. I'm going to fucking do this. I'm going to fucking live. I'm going to step out of here a fucking queen. I slithered out like a snake, but I'm going to step out a queen. And so we were putting more coals on, more coals. And then it just got so hot to the point I thought I was being cooked. And I was like, enough. But like, I was there. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm doing this because I am strong enough. I can do this. And then the ceremony was done. And then we each got out. And I made sure that I stepped out fully embodied as a queen, as a sovereign of my life. And I stood outside, and I was facing the hill and overlooking the sweat lodge, and I was like, I can face anything. I made it through that. I can face anything. I am that fucking strong, and I choose to live. And I totally encourage anybody that has the opportunity to face their biggest fears to do it. Because you can get onto the other side of it. At least I did. And I was absolutely reborn. I was absolutely reborn in that Temazcal. And I did step out a full queen of my life and full sovereign of it. And it felt fucking awesome. I choose to fucking live. How about you?